Hey, welcome back to turn 23 of Blood on the Snow. Yeah, so we're getting there. It's been a couple of days since the last turn, so I need to go through all this stuff to remind myself what I'm actually doing. Over on the left, drama corners crumbled away, and we're just waiting to receive the next punch. We're going to see what JTMO does coming up this way. He moved, well, looks like a couple of Humvees and the remaining striker on that flank into the woods there. We'll see what he does. We are, the FO over here is in the process of starting to call artillery down on there, so hopefully we can wipe out some infantry when that comes in. Over here, we've got this single guy from the HQ team in this building. That's going to be opened up on by, well, everything. One of the BTRs is moving forward, if I remember correctly, to engage that. The Mark 19 Humvee, I think it reversed away. I don't have a spot for it right now. Enemy mortars are still falling in this area, both 81 mils and 120s. So we're not really going forward up there. Up here, we'll see what we see. Last time we took out, I think, was it last turn? We took out this team of Americans over here who were diverting off this way, so we'll see what we get. I am taking my platoon out of here. These guys, they're going to sort their lives out. The next turn we're going to start pushing them over towards the objective. So yeah, that is broadly it. Let's turn those objectives off, get into a position where we can see most of everything, and let's press go and see what happens. Ooh, that looked like it might have worked. Yeah, these guys here definitely are getting some like direct fire mortars landing on them. There's some small arms going out there. There's that team back. Ooh, casualty in there. I don't know if that's because they're shooting the RPG teams building up. Looks like that single survivor from the RPG team there that we're trying to move up is getting shot up and suppressed. There was a striker spot down there a second ago. This RPG team is... I don't know what's happening there, but we'll see. Sounds like we might have a Humvee coming around this side. I bet that's that damn tow Humvee. Yeah, so quite a quiet turn. We may have hit the crunch point. Those guys got hit. Yeah, so we might have hit the crunch point a few turns earlier, and there was a lot of action. Yeah, so not really many spots. Let's just check up this side. These guys take a casualty at one point. We know we've got infantry over there, and definitely there's two dead strikers. Yeah, that looks like area fire. We've got some smoke. Yeah, so that's just generalized area fire going out. And boom, yeah, the RPG guy gets nailed. Just go and watch that back real quick and just see if it's... I think that's just area fire coming into the building. Not a lot I can do about that. Starting to get some mortar fire up here as well. Oh, these guys getting suppressed. And one of them got wounded. I don't know if that's because he's seen them or he's just area firing the building. I think that's a mortar round. I'll have to go back and check that actually. Is that a mortar round landing on that building, or is it something else? Like, one thing I've been expecting to see that I haven't is those 120 mil, the MGS strikers with the 105mm gun. I think this is a mortar round. Yeah, probably. If we think that... if you said it's mortars up down there, then yeah, that makes sense. I don't think anything else really happens up here. No. That's good. We don't want things to happen up there. We can see, yeah, these guys have now sorted themselves out. They're ready to go. Awesome. What do we get in the center here? So I think this guy gets killed instantly by the RPG. yeah, that looks promising. Yeah, so we can see him. Yeah, he's dead. He's down. Good. And then as this guy here moves up, I think they enemy infantry up here just opens up. Ah, so they're just hanging out the back there, are they? Oh, that's the javelin team from it. Yeah. Guy with the M320 there. You can see him. Only you. So yeah, I like the way he sits there. He can see the enemy and he decides not to shoot at him. That's extremely helpful. And there was definitely another shooter there. Oh, that's why he's done. He's just decided to give up. That's great. More mortars. That's this over here is AP fire going straight through the building. Zipping off down that way. There's a bit of small arms fire there. I don't know if that's friendly. Or... yeah, I think it was these guys. Yeah, they're just shooting that building up. That's cool. Nothing else up there. Though potentially sound contact, as you can see up there, around that building, that little farm cluster. You can see the spotting icon from the striker we saw there. That might be reorientating this way. Maybe he's going to try and pick up another crewman to man that gunner position. And then I have a feeling that this this RPG team gets hit by these guys here. Or by the enemy forces there. Because we do see the striker. I have a feeling they see the striker, fire at it potentially, and then get lit up. That sound contact there. That sound contact there is just moving this way. And yeah, there's that striker. Who can see that? Those guys over there can see that. Makes sense to me. It's never that intuitive anyway. Obviously, the big thing to remember is just because all the foliage is all snowy and kind of looks like you should be able to probably see through it, it ain't like that. The game, as far as it's concerned, thinks it's August. So that's kind of interesting that we got the spot there. Boom. Oh, he just died. He just had a heart attack. No, I think that was a mortar fragment. Yeah. Just a random mortar fragment just, you know, hit him in the face and down he goes. That's why we like mortars. But yeah, outside of that... not much. You can see if we do like the kind of like overarching trends here with the fast forward down here, you can see you definitely see that Humvee sound contact split off and head down this way. Let's see, off it goes. Or both of them, in fact. Ooh. Yeah, so we might try and push the Humvees around here, which is exactly why I've got, well, the track record for the BTRs isn't great, but we do have this AT-13 team. Might be worth reversing that BTR back a bit. Get it into a better kind of hull down-ish position. Might have to tweak these guys, see how far, see what they can see from there. But yeah, just a couple of random casualties. Nothing spectacular and nothing tremendously unexpected either. It's just don't usually see the map from this angle, do we? Fast forward it again. Oh, I'm just looking in like my back areas down here to see if anything silly happens. No. Okay. So, how are we getting on with the mortars? How far off are those? Okay, so they're in the spotting phase. That's excellent. And you're the one doing that. That's going to come in a couple of minutes. He's mortaring, going to be just dropping general mortars around here. So we've got our reserve platoon ready to punch down this road. Yeah, how do I want to approach this? All I want to do is get a pixel chopper into that objective. So yeah, let's consider the approaches that we've got here. I've basically got to come down this road to get into this objective, or up this road. This area here is getting mortared. I don't see why Kieme would stop mortaring it at this point. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. It's quite a slow, steady mortar bombardment. I feel like he's just going to empty out his ammunition. So we ain't going that way. Obviously going the top way, that's not smart because there's all this stuff here. At least a couple of, I think, at least 2 strikers, ATGM striker, Mark 19 ATGM Humvee, the tow Humvee that was in here and I think is now here. The Mark 19 Humvee and assorted infantry. So we're not going to go down there and expose our flank to get those guys. That's dumb. We ain't doing that. Going down the other flank, you know, if we storm down here, then you know we're going to be exposed to. We know that the enemy striker. We know that there's a striker down here. It would be pretty ballsy to just bomb down this road. Maybe you guys should face that way, you muppets. I know, alternatively, you know, maybe they were shooting over that way. Maybe they've seen something, and that's why they've reorientated. Who knows? Where was I going? Yeah, so we don't want to go this way particularly because we'd be exposed down there. So it does kind of come down to this main road. In which case, I have these guys to deal with. I'm pretty sure they have a javelin. And then the 40mm HEDP grenades, which, as we have seen, will nobble the BTRs quite effectively. So, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to punch it like that? I don't know. So we can almost certainly get to about here. I wouldn't really anticipate that many problems getting up to about this point. So we'll be sitting here under mortar fire, and then I have to decide how I'm going to deal with these guys. Oh, you guys are like a little bit suppressed, all you guys in these buildings. Well, he's back up on his feet. Not sure he can see anything from there. Oh yeah, he can. I mean, can I get down to here? Pop smoke, and then do like a rolling smoke screen. So, you know, like I actually think I talked about this right at the start. These BTRs, because they're the modern variant. No, you don't want to be opened up. Let's not open you up. You'll just get shot. I know you'll get shot because you're useless. That's what you do. Did I not take... Wow, did I not fill these guys up with RPG-26s? Wow. Soviet-style smokes. So the way they work is, with the NATO vehicles, they tend to they fire them quite a way ahead. Or well, NATO vehicles fire them quite close. Can you tell it's been a long day? The NATO vehicles fire them quite close to protect the vehicle, whereas Soviet smokes, they launch them a fair way. That way the vehicle has room to maneuver. So I'll have to probably dip out and do a tiny bit of testing. But if we get a couple of smoke charges out of each one, we could, in theory, pop smoke to cover this corner, come round here, pop smoke to cover this angle off, or even, you know, based on the distance, hop up here and fire smoke over in this way. Which way is the wind going? It's kind of going... it's not that steady, is it? It's kind of going that way-ish. This way, ever so slightly. Yeah, gentle from the southwest. That would imply that it is... Oh yeah, yeah. This compass weirds me out. I never understand it. I am now looking southwest. Okay. Yeah, so it's going that way. So that would blow the smoke back on us, which is not ideal, but quibble. So I might have to jump out and see how effective that would be. Either way, I think it's going to be better staving that off until the last minute. And I know that's not very exciting. But at the moment, you know, if I punch those guys up there... See, the pressure is on JT mode to make a push as well. Especially once the mortars start falling. Incidentally, I wouldn't consider using the mortar smoke. The mortars have loads of smoke rounds. I wouldn't consider using them at all here, because they are not thermal smoke. So the Americans with all the thermal sights will be able to see right through them, whereas my forces, who don't have any thermal sights at all, wouldn't be able to see through them. So it'd basically just be killing my own forces. Which I've probably done enough of. So yeah, I don't think that would be very effective at all. In fact, it would be rather suicidal, so we ain't doing that. Can you guys see to cover that corner off? Yeah, just about. Could do with going back a little bit there. Not that it will help you against the toe, but it might make you a slightly smaller target. There we go, we're in the hold down range there. You guys, actually, you could see that striker from up there. Why don't you guys get back on the causeway? They're expendable. It's more useful to me right now to have two guys up here spotting that striker than it is to have them running around in those woods somewhere. So, what else have we got going on? Yeah, like I say, I think it's going to be better to see how it pans out. It's not going to take a long time for these guys to bomb down that road and get into position. Not going to take them a long time at all. Like, call it 3 turns. So if we start, you know, if I see an opportunity, I can go for it. But in the meantime, let's see if Kieme makes a mistake. I mean, there's a lot of fire going out. Up here, he's trying to mortar the place. That would imply that he might be trying to push up here, at which point we go, yay, fantastic, and we shoot him. And this platoon gets out of its vehicles, and it gets back up on this flank, where it can cover off this way and shoot him in the side as he tries to advance down to the objective. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I think that's probably a better way to do it. So let's just leave all that there. Can I get this? Is that? What I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to work out if I can slot this BTR in somewhere down here. Where we can try and deal with these guys, because if I get this whole bit of the flank sorted out, I'm going to be a lot happier. A lot happier. You're all dead, so you're expendable now. Let's get you in that building. Let's just see how you react to that. You guys don't have target arcs. That's excellent. Yeah, I kind of can't really think of a way to do that without exposing that BTR too much. Because I know this stuff up here. You know, like that tow Humvee, the Mark 19 Humvee. So coming down onto this corner, always a good sign. Coming down onto this corner is, you know, not the smartest thing I could be doing. Yeah, like I say, tactical waiting. That's what we're engaged in here.